Just wanted to answer a lot of questions that people have about cardiovascular training. So when people say cardio, they often mean several things, and we use just one word for it, unfortunately. So we wanted to put those into different boxes and discuss what each of those mean, what the values are in them, and then like what you would do in general for training. We can talk about cardio as you can train in different ways for different types of cardiovascular effects. So one would be general cardiovascular fitness, which is just having a healthy heart. And vascular system, and even respiratory system, because that would go along with that. Then there's cardiovascular endurance. So if you're training for sports, that's an entirely different approach than just being fit and healthy, would be training for an endurance sport like an Ironman or in a marathon. Then there's weight loss, of course, using cardiovascular training for weight loss and fat burning. And those are different approaches, and there's definitely overlap between all of them. But it's wrong to think what works for a marathon is going to work best for somebody who needs to just have a healthier heart versus someone who needs to lose 75 pounds. So just realize that there's different speeds at which we want to apply change to our basic level of fitness. So you don't want to do things too quickly. You have to account for skill factor, like how well do you move already when you're just walking or walking quickly or running, for example. So if you're not used to running and you hear somebody that you really admire runs a lot, you shouldn't just start running to be like them, for example. So start with just being cardiovascular fit and healthy. Seek health first. So usually that just starts with just doing a regular routine of plenty of walking. Just getting moving more often is key to that. Just getting on your feet and getting out there and doing what you like. That's the number one piece of advice I could give anybody with trying to do more cardio for any reason, is finding something you're willing to do and something that you enjoy. Because if it's the best thing scientifically proven, but you hate it, you're not going to do it anyway after time. And it's all about being in it for the long game. So find something that you enjoy, and the cardio will take care of itself. So you don't have to measure your heart rate and have a special watch and track it and run all kinds of charts and stuff like that. Just make it fun, make your heart beat, and you'll be healthier. If you're training for cardiovascular endurance for a sport, I would recommend getting with a specialist or studying somebody who specializes in that. And you always want a program that ramps up your fitness and ramps up your intensity over time. You're never going to just dive in and go from couch potato to superhero. You've got to scale that over time and work up to an event or a certain level of fitness. And finally, weight loss is an entirely different can of worms altogether. And that's just going to take time, no matter what method you use. So I recommend being patient, because the weight loss journey isn't the goal. It's being where you want to end up at the end of that journey and staying there. The staying there portion is the most important part, because once you arrive, that's where you want to stay. So being good when you get there and being sustainable is what it takes. So whether you're talking about your work in the gym, doing strength training, doing cardiovascular, and your diet, all that stuff needs to be something that you can do now that you'll still be doing a year from now and 5 years from now. So that can be its own deep dive, and you're welcome to look into that. But again, that's going to start with stuff that you're willing to do and willing to keep doing because it's fun.